Sounds good.
Pedro, good morning. What is up? How are you?
Good morning, Zalmy. I'm doing well. How about yourself? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. Thanks for everybody for listening in and watching us if you are. It's December 7th, 2020, and there's no difference in timing when it comes to talking about different ways to help your business continue to grow. So whether it's December 7th or December 24th, I won't talk about the 25th, but it's always a good time. So getting to it, this is the Booster and Gonzalez podcast here, and we want to touch on a few questions together, asking some questions as it relates to growth with the accounting side of things in your business, and then obviously, marketing as well. So with that said, Pedro, I'm going to shoot over, the ball to you and ask you a few questions on, accounting in general, how it can help another business owner. Obviously, getting some answers from you and your wealth of experience, we'll be able to understand a little bit better a few topics. So, are you ready for that?
No.
That's awesome. I was, hoping that you weren't ready for this, because ready or not, here we go. Question number one I want to shoot out to you is, could you explain the concept of cash flow in general? A lot of business owners, they have issues with their overall accounting. When it comes to cash flow and that concept, maybe giving some clarity to our viewers and followers that we have all around the world, maybe they can, better understand that topic a little bit more for their business.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll make an attempt to give you in a minute or two what it takes us, in some cases, a whole college degree to understand. But cash flow is the lifeblood of the business. That is, if not the most, it's probably one of the most important aspects that all business owners should be looking at. Because without the cash flow, your business dies. So, but it's not just money in the bank, and as its name says, it's the flow. How do you initiate with let's say that initial investment, that be in the form of your own investment into the business that takes into consideration investors' monies, borrowed money, and then how that money goes through the cycle from converting those, let's say, for example, let's take a manufacturing, buying materials, making those materials into a product, putting that product into inventory, that inventory selling it, and if you're selling on credit, how to then becomes a receivable, and then from receivable back into cash. So that's the whole point in general, cash flow. How does the cash flows through your cycle, and how quickly you're able to convert the liquid back into liquid asset plus profits.
Right.
So that is in general what this whole thing about cash flow. And what is important is that you need to monitor that, because the longer it takes you to convert your liquid asset back into liquidity, the longer it takes you, you will be at disadvantage against your competitors. That's why it's important you're constantly monitoring how long is it taking you to bring that back into the bank. And and we can get into other days about the importance of the profitability and so on. But in general, that is the cash flow, and the importance is that it is what is going to keep your business alive.
Yeah, cool. So obviously the timing of when you invest into your business and then the return of it at the end on the other side is obviously very, very important. And trying to bring that to as small of a timing as possible from when you invest to the actual cash in your bank is extremely important. And okay, cool. So an accountant can analyze that and see where the timing is off a little bit, where they can actually improve on that, and that takes a little bit more in-depth analysis.
Correct, and that's exactly. I mean, when you look at a CPA or an experienced accountant should be able then to help you is understand that cash flow and how to improve it, so then you gain an edge against your competitors. Because again, the the business that can have the fastest cash flow, it will have an edge against the competitors. It will always be able to have ammunition readily available for opportunity. And again, we can get to a conversation another day, but opportunity cost, and
Yeah.
the more liquid you are, then you have more advantages against your competitors. And those are opportunities. And it's in today's environment, what we're going through right now is even more critical that you monitor your cash flow more closely, because there's no money to be wasted in this type of environment.
Sure. Makes sense. Cash is king, as they say.
Right.
Awesome. One more question I want to shoot over to you, and just, obviously to make sure that we stay on course and cover some good, valuable, relevant information that others can, be aware of at the least. And obviously, if they want to take any action, reach out to your closest CPA accountant that you are that you trust with your business, and talk to them about these topics and see what you can do to improve that. Pedro, I'd like to ask you about tax planning. I know that there's a difference between tax preparation and tax planning, and you need a strategy to do that. So the question is, a business owner needs to be a little bit more well aware on how much in tax savings and, essentially increasing their profitability by having a proper tax planning strategy for their business. So is that something that they need to be worrying about, like from the start of the year or towards the end when they're, filing their taxes? Is this something that, is really consistent throughout the year and something that has to be prepared ahead of time, or more like around, the tax preparation time?
No, that's a good question. And kind of ties in to the cash flow, because again, one of the biggest culprits of poor cash flow tends to be money going into taxes, in monies that could be saved, money that you could be saving that goes into taxes that you could have reduced and bring that cash flow back into your operation. But tax planning in reality is something that should be done throughout the year, not just a one-time event. You should be monitoring. Yes, for example, right now, you should be probably looking not only at your tax, year-end tax. We're only talking about what, two or so weeks left of the year. There's not really a whole lot you can be doing now. The events that happen already happened.
Right.
But you can do some tax planning now, maybe as a last minute, what we call last minute year-end tax planning. But really what you need to be doing right now is your projection for 2021 and the tax planning strategies that can be implemented in 2021. So then you can become, again, have an edge against your competition. So
Right.
you should start that now. And then throughout the year, you tweak it as actual numbers start populating your financials. So maybe at least once a quarter. Then you have quarterly financials. You should be meeting with your tax professionals and then going through and see what kind of other modification needs to be made to the plan that you originally established.
Cool.
And that's how you are going to maximize your tax deductions. New tax law might be coming out. So then how can I bring that into my original plan? Again, with the goal being is to make sure that your business is paying the least amount on taxes legally, and maximizing all the tax benefits that you can take into your business.
Awesome. Well, that makes a lot of sense, and so that pretty much tells me that tax planning is really throughout the year, because when you're doing this ahead of time and planning it all out, you go obviously based on projections, and you can have more accurate projections usually when the business is around for a few years, basing that on the history of the business. And then it's a maintenance really throughout the year, because now you're starting to have the real numbers come through, and then based on that, accordingly, you're shifting, but you're shifting in real time, so that any kind of strategy and any tactic that was once thought of, let's say, as something pertinent to the business, may just not be anymore, because of given the new numbers, the actual numbers that are coming through. So shifting in real time to know how to position the business come time to, prepare your taxes. If you're planning it right throughout the year, it makes a whole lot of a difference. So.
Right, and something that all businesses and regardless of the stage that you're in, is to invest is in a good information system. Your accounting system, your financial information system should be timely, should be accurate, so then you can implement those. Like we were talking about the projections.
Right.
If you're not getting timely financial information, you're not gonna be able then to make timely changes in your projections. I mean, to
Right.
implement that, you're gonna be behind. Your competition will get ahead of you. So that's why it's
Yeah.
critical that you have timely accounting that is accurate. Because again, you can have it timely, but if the information coming out of your accounting system, regardless of what that system is, then if it's not accurate, then you're gonna make the wrong decision, because then you're not getting accurate information. You're getting it timely, but not accurate. And the same happens. You see some cases you're getting accurate, but it's too late. Now it's too late to make a decision. That's why it has to be both. It has to be timely, it has to be accurate. And so then you as a business owner can quickly make decisions. If you have to make a change, you have it on time. So then I can still make a decision, cut my losses, make a decision, maybe either let a certain product or service to, maybe I have to let it go because it's bleeding my company. So let me cut it off now when I still have time, when I still have cash flow to continue my business, and let me divert that cash flow that was going towards a certain product or service, and let me divert that into what is really making money for me. But you can only do that if you're getting timely and accurate information to make those kind of decisions. And that is what keeps, that's, most of the time, that's what you see, that why certain companies are more, they adapt to the circumstances. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even when we went through, there were still companies making money, profitable companies. And I'm not talking about the big corporations that you hear about. I'm talking about mid and small businesses that were able to quickly adapt to the situation, cut certain parts of their business that were gonna, either they knew they were gonna lose money or they were already losing money. So they stopped that bleeding, in essence, and let me divert my money and my cash flow into this other area. And they were able then to continue. And as of today, they still have their doors open. Their layoffs were minimized.
Right.
So you see what I'm saying? So that's why
Yeah.
the importance, and I think now people are realizing the importance of cash flow, something that we have been harping, for many, many years.
Right.
But when you see crises like we went through, then you see the importance of why certain small businesses are being able to keep their doors open. And you'll see that most of the time is because they're able to obtain information. They know quickly, let me cut here, cut here, cut here. Let me stop this. Let me put that money somewhere else.
Right. Yeah. And I feel like for, the small business owner, tax planning is obviously therefore just as important as if you're running a larger company, because you're able to pivot and you're more flexible. So, you're able to, literally change around almost anything in your business almost instantly based on the information that you have. So if you have the right information, then only then you actually have that, the ability to make the right moves as well. So that's really awesome. That's very insightful. And I think a lot of small business owners could definitely rethink and strategize and plan with an accountant, more or less, and take that more seriously, at least this coming year, starting now, looking ahead of time and realize the actual benefits of that. So that's pretty cool. That's very insightful, I think. So that's cool. And again, that's a general, understanding of how that could apply to everybody.
Correct. So what I would like to do now is, I would like to ask you, because now what I would like to do is bring into the importance of, in general, market. Because it's an area that I think is misunderstood by, especially a lot of small businesses. I think is underutilized by a lot of the small businesses. And I will say business in general. I think that they're underutilizing the marketing, and it's specifically the technology that is available to us today. So I
Sure.
would like to ask you, again, why, the importance, if you can get, and I know we can go through a whole a degree of marketing, but
Yeah.
what is the importance in a few minutes, the importance of online marketing, and especially in today's environment?
Yeah, I think a lot of business owners now are taking it more seriously, and even when they're just starting off their business, they do feel the need like, oh man, I need to compete with everybody else as well, and I'm not in competition if I'm not online. So while that is true, I would say that if you are starting off in your business and it's not like you necessarily have that much capital, probably going online and having to go online right away isn't necessarily the best move for you. I would say definitely look in and see where you can invest with the least amount of time, energy, and effort, and obviously financial resources, but then still get a return on that. So what I mean by that is obviously, where there's a lack of financial resources and capital, there's got to be some kind of time budget that you have on your hands that you can actually make it work and market yourself and get your business out there and obviously get more customers in that way. So with that being said, for small business owners, many times it's not really the online marketing. It's more like you got to be more creative without being online and still remain profitable in that way. And once you can do that, then it starts making sense for you to get online. So do you need a website? It really depends on your business. If you actually need a website and that you cannot, thrive at all in the least at all, without the website. So, obviously like a store that's selling products. I mean, no doubt about it. You need to be able to start off with your online storefront to be able to sell more products online, such as let's say beauty products, or let's say even a med spa that offers services. Of course, the products that they sell should also be on their website, but it should also be really on the same website. I've seen a lot of med spas where they have like two separate websites, one's for their products and one's for their services, and I can't understand that. You want to bring people to your website that are initially, to begin with, interested in your services, and naturally that's what they want. They want your products too. So basically, overall, you want to be able to market yourself in the most efficient manner, and it's not always online. But there's a stage where you don't have a choice; you got to be online. So when you hit that, that level, and you got to be online, then you definitely got to take care of all the online marketing strategies that are out there, and spread yourself as much as possible, whether it's showing up on Google if somebody is within proximity of your business, being able to be on the Google Maps so that people will, see you more likely than others because they're actually closer to you than someone else. So that's, something that a lot of business owners obviously are not taking advantage of. And so, people are driving by, but you're not necessarily ranking high enough to be able to do that, at least for your local customers. So obviously, like for a restaurant, that could be extremely important. So being on as many directory listings and aggregate sites that also pull in information from other sites, all that is very important because your business may not show up on from your Google My Business listing, but you still have other sites that could show up for whatever reason, and somebody may find you there. So it's always good to have that in mind, and obviously be industry specific with which sites you are actually on with all your business profile and your information. But to cut it short, you're right. Marketing online is extremely important, and therefore, if you just started your business and it may not make sense with the investment to invest online, you definitely want to get to be able to be in that position to be marketing online, and you got to do that as soon as you can. But in the meantime, there's business networking with local business networks around. There's a lot of business relationship building opportunities out there that you can take advantage of, and I think that's a very powerful way of doing that. You just it obviously takes a little bit more of your time. A lot of these local business networks are now on Zoom, so it is quite virtual. They may not necessarily get rid of it, And I have actually just now joined a BNI chapter that's located in California. How long will it last that we can Zoom? I don't know, but the fact that I, made that choice is, obviously because we are so virtual. I find it very hard that, these business networks are going to ignore the virtual side of things and how profitable it is, because it saves a lot of time and money. Now everybody can join whichever, city local chapter that they want. And guess what? Does it really make a difference anymore if you're physically living there or not? In my personal opinion, there is absolutely no difference. Yes, you are meeting, you do, the difference is when you meet, your members in person, there's obviously a very big difference there, meeting people physically. But to be able to be valuable and, find referrals and all that, and find customers and someone referring you to someone else and all that, obviously depending on your business, you don't necessarily have to be, located physically to be able to be a valuable member. So joining your local business network is something that I'm a big fan of. I'm part of two now, and I think it can greatly help your business grow, and regardless of where you physically are. So
Very good.
you
So
said it.
you also mentioned in your conversation about websites
Right.
and the importance of websites, and I think is another area that is not being, I think is misunderstood also and underutilized.
Yes.
And so now when we go to the designing of the websites,
Hmm.
so in your opinion, should a business owner uh, um, hire a website designer or a marketing consultant like yourself to design that website?
Right. That's actually a very good question. And, obviously, if you need a plumber, you call a plumber, right? You're not going to call an electrician or anything that may be close to that or related to that. But when it comes to web design, a lot of folks out there don't realize that, web designer typically, especially a really good web designer, they have the technical know-how and they can design a website from the back end, the front end, and be able to help you with all the aesthetics and all the, functionality of it. They can do anything. They can make it happen for you. So there's no doubt about it. A web designer is extremely important, and we need web designers. We need people that can design websites and know how to use the platform, whether it's WordPress, Wix, whatever it is, to be able to efficiently put together that website for you. The only issue here, which is obviously the main issue, is when you're building a website, it's the core of your business. It probably matters more in many instances. It matters more than your brick and mortar store. So that being said, your online storefront needs to have the marketing in mind as well as your sales process. So to be specific here, there's many ways to generate leads or opportunities with your utilizing your website as part of that process. So websites don't actually go and market and go bring other people. Obviously, you need something like search engine, like Google, Yahoo, Bing. These are search engines, and you need to be optimized in your website so that you can rank higher when someone's searching. But that being said, SEO is not the only way to be able to have your website appear in front of others. There's obviously using Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, all these other areas, and all these other strategies of being able to bring more people to your website. And from wherever they do come, you need marketing in mind built into your website so that whenever somebody comes from whichever source, that they're able to take the right actions that you want them to take. So having the right incentives, having the right functionality with call to actions, and just all over the place on your website, where not too much of it, but obviously in the right places. There's color psychology that's related to that. There's overall the positioning of the website and how you build it out so that it serves the business itself best by having the sales process, which is your CRM, and the way you intake or want to communicate with clients, And, you know, there's various ways of doing that. You can have people come to your site and try to get them to mainly schedule a time to speak with you. So you got your calendar in certain areas so that, you know, that's what they do primarily. Then you can have, you know, a contact form that's, you know, connected to your CRM software, that's connected to your website. And you can incentivize people, you know, you can give them something of value and exchange their email address for that. And you can also have people, if you prefer just giving you a call to your office, if it's in line with your sales process and you have a team of people ready to take on their calls, you know, then it's gonna work out for you. Because if you have 100 calls a day, but nobody's there to answer them, or nobody's able to actually handle all that inflow, then all your SEO marketing and all your, you know, advertising, you know, really goes to waste. So that being said, you know, the website is really like in the middle of both the marketing and the sales. And, you know, you want to have your sales process in mind first, and, you know, work your way backwards down, you know, to the beginning of how you market your business and how you brand it. So taking all that in consideration, it is very important not only to have a web designer that can help you on the technical side, but have a consultant that kind of sees a full-on picture and takes in consideration your marketing and your sales. And putting that together, you know, as long as you have a business marketing consultant at the helm of that project, you realize that it takes a lot more than just a web designer. You definitely need more than just technical skill. Typically, what a web designer will do is, you know, they'll look to the business owner and ask them how they want it. And that itself right there is the big problem with a lot of websites that have been built up till now. You have the people that we look up to, the wrong people to really kind of give the guidance. So a web designer looking to a business owner is typically like, you know, the blind leading the blind kind of scenario. You know, you have the web designer who has all the capacity and technical know-how to be able to build that website, but he's not being guided necessarily and not looking towards somebody that actually has the knowledge to know how the website should be best, you know, positioned. And, you know, from a functionality, aesthetic standpoint, color psychology, having the right branding colors, and it goes on and on and on, with SEO in mind as well in the back end of the website to be able to build it out from the beginning, from the start. So with all that said, it's the fact that you need the right people to kind of put together the full-on project. And it's not just about putting a website together, it's about putting a business together. So, you know, you just want to kind of steer away from you know, having a web designer kind of follow up with the business owner and seeing what they want, and rather kind of combining what they want, but also what is most profitable for them online with their website. So that's what I gotta say.
So I know that you have an appointment coming up, so I just want to kind of, in a few minutes, one, I would like, how can people find you? You know what I mean? What is your, I don't know if you want to share your email, your website, or something that you want to share, so then people can get in contact with you.
Sure. So obviously, being a marketing company, we have our website, socialboostermarketing.com. Hopefully we do right. And there's the social media links that you can find us on from our website. You know, on Facebook, we're active on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and pretty much even Twitter. I kind of forget about it, but we are active on there. Just I don't find it as much of a you know, channel to be focused on as much going forward. I think LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok are really the big four right now, really pushing it forward and moving the needle for most businesses now. So that's where you can find me. And of course, you'll find all of my information to be able to contact me there. One thing I have to say is that, Pedro, you yourself, I mean, you have years and years of experience, and I know that many business owners can you know, benefit from your expertise in really many industries. I know you have a strong focus in real estate. Is that true?
Yeah, no, that is true, and I, you know,
and developers, yeah.
I've been blessed, and not only with the knowledge, but also, to still be standing after, I've gone through many of the cycles. So
Yes,
I have that under my belt, not only the technical, but also, being able to see some of the ups and the downs of the market, economic downturns and upturns. And so that's
mm-hmm,
something I can bring to the table to business owners.
sure,
In addition to, yes, the technical aspects of accounting and tax, and that's the focus of our business. Is not only about the accounting or the tax prep, is to be your trusted business advisor. Somebody that you can come to and tap on all those years of experience, and add it to your arsenal to gain an advantage against your competitors. So that's what we're here for.
that's awesome. And how can others who are able to listen to this podcast and kind of listen in onto what we have to share with everybody, how can they contact you?
Well, the best way to contact me, one is email pedro@pedrocpa.com. You can see our website, pedrocpa.com. And through that website, you'll be able to link into our different social media that you can find us, either be through the YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. You'll be able then to locate us. To, um, um,
That's awesome.
there's a couple ways that you can quickly. If
Sure.
you have a question, the best way is to shoot us an email.
Awesome. Well, what I really love about you and I and the way we approach our clients is that we're relationship based, and essentially what that means is that we're not transactional, and we look to we can do a lot of different things in our businesses. Myself as a marketing consultant, and being able to I've been blessed to be able to now be like 4 years into my company, and I've implemented. I mean, I couldn't count it on my fingers how many different types of marketing strategies online. So we can do almost anything and everything. It's just about what makes sense for the business, given their resources. And at the same time, yourself. I mean, I know that you also have a wide variety of specialization in accounting, ranging from bookkeeping all the way through tax planning strategies and advisory solutions and services. So that's what it's all about. It's about helping others, helping them with their business, which does ultimately affect them personally. So we take business personal, right? Would you agree?
No, I agree. Again, that's another factor that differentiates our businesses is, against a transactional only type of model, is that we do take a more personal approach to your business. There's no cookie cutter responses. I mean, we bring this
Right.
based on your specific needs. What is it? In some cases, what you think you need is not really what you need. Again, so our role is to also make you aware of what is it that you might be missing. You know what I mean? To open your eyes
Right.
to things that you're probably not realizing at the moment.
Yeah, and it could be contrary to what you think is a problem. So you go to the doctor and you tell them my head hurts, and
Correct.
God forbid,
Yeah,
it shouldn't be anything serious. But
correct. Give me some aspirin, and that's not going to
yeah,
help.
that doesn't work. The doctor's got to take a full analysis and tell you exactly what's going on. So
And
you
it's
know,
not going to be aspirin. It might be something else that's really what you need. And also, the fact that that doctor prescribes something to, let's say, Joey, doesn't apply to
right,
you. You know what I mean? Even though you might similar symptoms. I talked to Joey. Joey said that you're his doctor, and you prescribe him aspirin. So
right,
prescribe me aspirin. And it's like, well, slow down. You know what I mean? I haven't even looked at you yet. I have to make a complete, and it works out that you might not need
sure,
might need something, or maybe you don't need any of that. You know what I mean?
right,
So it depends. That's why the importance of taking a closer look at your business. I mean, we're not just like yourself, we're not a type of transaction mill. You know what I mean? Like running
yeah. One
through.
size fits all.
Correct. And no, there's no, and we're not fit for everybody. and that's something we will, as far as our initial conversation, we'll make those kind of assessment if you're a right fit for us or us a right fit for you.
Yeah. Well, that's all we got to say here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Booster and Gonzalez show, and looking forward to sharing some more value. And hopefully, this helps, plenty of other people.
Next one. Yes, well, very soon. We'll be back and bringing some more valuable content.
Sure thing. Take care, everybody, and thanks again for listening in. It's Zalmy and Pedro on the show.